Give a man a job. You look like a banker. Who drives your car?
I drive it myself. Have a cigar.
Keep your cigar and hire a chauffeur, and keep the man from becoming a loafer.
Picture this. In 1932, the country was in the depths of the Great Depression, and a lot of fingers were being pointed at President Herbert Hoover for failing to rescue America from its grip. Exasperated citizens in rural parts of North Carolina fumed over the prohibitive cost of gasoline, which turned their prized automobiles into expensive lawn ornaments.
Only a few automobiles can operate because most filling stations have exhausted their supplies. Motor trucks stand idle where their drivers left them.
That is until someone removed the engine and any other unnecessary items from the family car and harnessed a mule to it.
During the Depression, many people couldn't afford gasoline for their cars, but had to have some method of hauling things. So they would take the rear axle and wheels off their car and turn it into a cart.
The invention galloped across eastern North Carolina, and when a clever newspaperman by the name of Gene Roberts cheekily called the conveyance a Hoover cart, there was seemingly nothing that could rein in the public's enthusiasm for the invention.
People in Wayne County and all over the South who had been down the line Democrats have voted for Hoover. As the Depression deepened, people who had voted for Hoover instead of the Democrat sort of blamed themselves.
Hoover cart parades pranced through Nashville, Wendell, Oxford, and Kinston. But the most spectacular display was the Hoover Cart Rodeo in Goldsboro, dreamt up by the intrepid newspaperman Roberts and sponsored by the newspaper for which he worked, the Goldsboro News Argus. Between 10 and 15,000 people watched the parade, which stretched for a mile and a half. It would have been longer, but several Hoover cart builders underestimated the time it would take to get their mule-powered vehicles to the starting line. Some contestants took the minimalist approach. Their Hoover cart consisted of nothing more than a car axle, 2 tires, and a few planks of wood. In fact, a first-place winner in one category was a contestant who wowed the judges by pulling his own cart while playing a guitar.
My father, he thought, that was probably the high point of his journalism career.
The Hoover cart events proved a boon to local economies, including, ironically, the businesses most impacted by high gas prices. Regarding the Goldsboro Rodeo, Time magazine reported that filling station did their best day's business in many a month, selling hay. The article also called out Roberts as the Goldsboro news hawk behind the event.
My father was many things: a school teacher, a Baptist minister, but probably the thing he most enjoyed in life was being a newspaper person. As much as he deplored the Depression, he thought the ability to laugh at it was important. And the Hoover carts were a perfect way to do that.
After his Hoover cart success, Roberts went on to enjoy a fruitful writing career. Politicians were still making hay with the Hoover carts as late as 1948, when President Truman made an election year campaign stop at the North Carolina State Fair in Raleigh. Contrasting the current national economy with the one presided over by the last Republican president, Truman said, "Nowhere in the United States this year have I seen a single exhibit of the famous North Carolina farm invention, that product of ingenuity in hard times, of personal despair and political mockery, the Hoover cart." Truman went on to state that the opposing party wanted you to take a ride in the same old wagon. In addition to newspapers and campaign speeches, the Hoover cart also made an appearance in Harper Lee's famous novel, To Kill a Mockingbird, a reference that's lost on today's readers. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who remembers the Hoover carts. But still, there's a lesson in these carts and the communities that celebrated them, that even during the most trying of times, You can count on North Carolinians to always look for ways to make others laugh a bit while lightening their load.
You and you and you and you've got a president now. He gave the land a new deal. You hold the cards, now you deal. You and you and you and you put shoulders to the plow. He gave us what we asked for, now pay him back somehow. Step out in front, get back of the president, and give a man a job. He bore the brunt, now bear with the president, and give a man a job. If the old name of Roosevelt makes the old heart throb, you take this message straight from the president and give a man a job.